follow Vicinity FM ní kejìlẹ̀ o.
We need wilders follow.
Àwa lọ̀gá o.
We need wilders follow.
Adìẹ funfun àwa ṣá ní bàbá gbogbo.
Àwa ní bàbá.
Vicinity FM 95.3. Ẹranko tí ó ṣe bí olólàájú kò sí nígbó àjíkí adé. Erin lákàtà gbérin àwa gòkè á lọ. Ìyẹ́lẹ̀ ó máa wò lẹ́yìn ẹyẹ wa. Lọ́jọ́kọjọ́ nígbàkúgbà bàbá ni bàbá ń jẹ́. Lọ́jọ́kọjọ́ nígbàkúgbà bàbá ni bàbá ń ṣe. We lead wilders follow. We lead wilders follow. Vicinity FM ọ̀gálàjẹ́ Adéọlá Noite ló ní ẹ̀ máa gbọ́. Mo fọwọ́ ẹ̀ sọ̀yà.
We lead wilders follow. Vicinity FM àwa ní.
Enjoy.
It's only on Friday we get to say thank God it's Friday, but every other week we get to say thank God it's Friday, but not this loud on Friday. Why? Because it brings us to the end of the week and we get to rest and also feel release and details of these stories. And I say thank God it's Friday, thank goodness it's free. I am Oluwafunke Israel, and you are stuck with me this morning as your host on Newspaper Review. Let's get started. On the front page of every newspaper, they have something on May Day. May Day was yesterday. Today is the 2nd of May. And before me, it's The Guardian, Nigerian Tribune, Daily Independent, The Punch newspaper, and Daily Trust. Do well to know you can join the conversation this morning on Facebook at Vicinity 95.3 FM and also on YouTube at Vicinity 95.3 FM. I will begin with The Guardian newspaper. Tinubu Labour clash on economy as NLC, TUC push workers' demands. FG probes student loan disbursement as an NEL fund welcomes scrutiny. Catholic priest protests kidnapping of 47 members, killing of 2. Telcos shelf services improvement to the third quarter as MTN considers 900 billion naira cap X. Religious organizations account for 63% of noise pollution complaints, says Lagos government. Attack on electricity workers by military personnel not acceptable. Additional decries Nigeria's GDP decline for fiscal discipline. First phase of Lagos Calabar Highway 70% ready to be delivered in January 2026. FCMB Group shareholders approve dividend payments growth plan. How negligence, poor maintenance culture made Nigeria's one stadium nation. The top stories on The Guardian. Now to Nigerian Tribune. National Political Summit NPSG inaugurates Daniel Tambluwa. Awolowo Dosunmu orders as coordinating committee members. On the riders, Ayaku calls for functional constitution. Sumi's mission urgent for country's future, stability, Tambuluwa. Nigeria must commit to reforms that deepen democracy. Daniel, we must adopt true federal constitution 1999 Constitution a challenge. Awolowo Dosunmu. FG summons VCs as ICPC probes student loan disbursement. On the rider, ICPC says Nel Fund disbursed only 44.2 billion naira out of 200.8 billion naira received to 293,178 students in 299 institutions. Now Fund reacts. Nigerians react to new SMS transactions fee amid growing discontent over banking charges. Umeyi issues stop work order on Shagamu Iperu Road. I am not quitting PDP, Adeleke tells Osun Stakeholders Forum. May Day, Labour rejects tax reform bills, wants retirement age to be 65 years. Governors orders ill workers on celebration. Phase 1 Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway 70% completed. Delivery January 2026. Now on Daily Independent, new terrorist group Mahmouda springing up in Mid-Belt. Labour second covers another illegal investment platform wants Nigerians. Tinubu says workers' dedication, resilience drive Nigeria economy. The riders vows to create jobs, alleviate poverty, grow economy, stability. FG restructuring worsening living conditions, Labour laments. Says country's economy is physically monetarily challenged. No improvement in workers' welfare after new minimum wage list while Nigerian's energy sector remains comatose till date. Okpelo raises Edo workers' minimum wage to 75,000 naira. Rivers NLC shuns celebration demands Governor Fubara's reinstatement. Natasha vows not to withdraw sexual harassment suit against Akpabio. Again, union tackles Turkish Airlines prepares for industrial action. Only federal constitution can tackle insecurity, hardship. The Patriots. Tambalua Binga Daniel to chair National Confab on Constitutional Democracy. Now Fund says no funds mismanaged on the students' loan. Now to the Punch, political showdown looms over Bihai's Tinubu file release. Electricity subsidies spending balloons to 762 billion naira. Wike Fubara to begin dialogue after Oshoba's mediation. FG VCs under fire over 100 billion naira students loan controversy. May Day, Labour pushes for tax cuts, pension overhaul and fresh 20 points demand. Tinubu governors pledge better deals for workers as NLC TUC insist on new demands. Governors join workers to celebrate May Day in Lagos, Kaduna orders. AFDB launches $650 million yearly economic support for Nigeria. 73 killed, 393 injured in Lagos-Ibadan expressway crashes in 3 months. Sport festival, arrested Ekiti athletes regain freedom. On the Daily Trust, Baba Ahmed to Atiku, don't run for presidency again. Again! Maiduguri barracks explosion. We thought it was Boko Haram attack. Residents. Tinubu visits Katsina today to commission project. ICPC probes student loan scandal. Bank customers weigh options over hike in SMS alert charges. Zamfara. Our kidnapped chief imam. Family members were killed by bandits. Northeast governors decry poor road network in sub-region. Workers' Day. NLC makes fresh demands. 65-year retirement age for workers reject casualization. The top stories on the Daily Trust. Now bring you details of these headlines. Please stay tuned.
Enjoy.
And back to Daily Trust. Baba Ahmed to Atiku, don't run for presidency again. Former spokesperson of the Northern Elders Forum, Dr. Kimba Ahmed, has urged former Vice President Atiku Abubakar to abandon his long-standing ambition of becoming Nigeria's president. Baba Ahmed, who recently resigned as political advisor to the president in the office of the vice president, said Atiku, who has contested the presidency 6 times, should instead focus on supporting a new generation of leaders. He made this known in an open letter. Well, if you are very concerned about what's going on the political scene, you know that this is not the first time somebody is coming out to say, you know, Vice President Atiku Abubakar should not attempt to run for presidency again, saying that maybe he may not have that chance. And because he's already a popular candidate, we've seen over and over again. So people are not there's no, this excitement, for people to say, oh, these candidates, let's try and all of that. People have continued to call that Atiku. But at this time, Atiku has not really come out to say, well, I would, contest again. But we've just seen that he is trying to, come with a plan for a coalition and see how they can unseat the ruling All Progressives Congress. But he has not really come out to say he would contest in the election. But he's pretty busy with coalition and, also always giving his own point of view whenever any national issue arises, even amidst political, in the political scene and beyond. So at this point, I'm not sure if, the former vice president is really taking this to heart. People are saying this objectively, and they have raised several points, to defend reasons why Atiku should not try to run for presidency. And like Baba Ahmed said, let's give a new generation the chance, just drop the ambition anyways. But this is up to the former vice president, to rethink his decision before 2027. Workers' Day, Labour makes fresh demands. Millions of workers under the auspices of the Nigerian Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress yesterday called on the federal government and some state governments to review some of their fresh demands over the current situation of workers in the country. The issues they raised range from the electricity crisis in the country despite high tariffs, rising cost of living, insecurity, growing unemployment, exorbitant telecoms tariffs, poor conditions of service at various places, undemocratic rule in Rivers State, amongst others. Specifically, they called on President Bola Tinubu to emulate his predecessor and raise the retirement age of all categories of workers to 65 years, the way former President Buhari raised teachers, judges, and health professionals' retirement age. Now for May Day, one thing the state government would have done is to just implement a new national minimum wage, to commemorate the day, because some states are still struggling, to implement the new minimum wage. Should have just been a payday for, workers yesterday. Moving away from that story, ICPC probe. When did Nel Fund even kick off? That we're already hearing, allegations of fraud. Whenever we are trying to take a step forward, it's like we're taking 3 steps backward. And I don't know, giving Nigerians key to the candy store is kind of hard these days. And when I mean candy store, where anything that involves money, I don't know why it's hard for us Nigerians, to be very, very disciplined around money. This might seem like an allegation, but you know what they say, there's no smoke without fire. ICPC probes students' loan scandal. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission has launched an investigation into the management of the Nigerian Education Loan Fund. The probe followed an alarm raised 2 weeks ago by the Director General of the National Orientation Agency, Lanre Issa Onilu, that the universities were trying to sabotage Tinubu-led government on the students' loan scheme. He said anti-corruption agencies in the country had been alerted to scrutinize activities of some tertiary institutions that were colliding with banks to sabotage the students' loan scheme. Imagine that. Anytime we just want to see that, some systems are put in place to ease, the lives of citizens, we just see that there are some elements that just want to, bring in, their own tactics to just disturb the whole thing and alter, compromise the whole system. It's sad. We should be a country that should be known for evil. We should step up our game. And why May Day yesterday, we heard that the governor of Edo State decided to raise the salary of workers in the state from 70,000 naira to 75,000. Somebody will say, what's the difference? Well, at least he felt it. He felt that, okay, that was the right thing to do, at least to put a little smile on the face of workers. Well, for FCT, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory said, we can't pay minimum wage. FCT Council Chairman tells reps. So if you know, yesterday, National Assembly decided to meet with, some leaders over some of the issues of teachers going on strike and other, workers in the state having one complaint or the other. The 6th FCT Area Council Chairman on Tuesday told the House of Representative Committee on Area Councils and Auxiliary Matters that their allocations are not enough to pay the 70,000 naira national minimum wage the striking workers of the council's demand. The council chairman, through their leader, Danladi Chia, who is also Kwali Area Council Chairman, was speaking for the first time since the crisis started at a resolution meeting called by the Reps Committee on Tuesday. However, Abuja Metro learned that the meeting, which had in attendance 5 of the 6 area council chairmen, leaders of the FCT councils of the Nigerian Union of Teachers, the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees, as well as National Association of Nurses and Midwifery. Remember, FCT teachers have been on strike, an indefinite strike, just for this cost alone, of seeking that they are paid at 70,000 naira minimum wage, especially those under, local councils. And now the chairman is saying we don't have enough, we don't get enough. Are you kidding? Federal allocation that was released for the first quarter, we had that month that was earmarked. So if there is not enough, I think that that should be the concern of the government. You can't tell people you can't pay them what is already implemented, what that's already on paper that they should get at this point. Well, I pray that something is done and the National Assembly, exercise, more power on this matter, because you can't say you can't pay people when there is a law out there that says you should pay them the new national minimum wage. Do want to know? You can join the conversation on Facebook at Vicinity 95.3 FM. We'll be right back.
Your connection to the sounds that surround you.
And I feel like the Barbie. I'm a doll, but I
Hit music belongs here.
I got the keys to the city.
This is Vicinity FM 95.3.
Now on Nigerian Tribune, thank you for staying tuned. May Day, Tinubu pledges job security, fair treatment for workers. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to strengthen job security and ensure the fair treatment of Nigerian workers as he addressed thousands of workers and labor leaders during the 2025 International Workers' Day celebration held at Eagle Square, Abuja. The event, marked by solidarity chants, colorful parades with a theme reclaiming the civic space amid economic hardship, served as a rallying point for renewed dialogue between the government and organized labor in the face of growing socio-economic challenges. Delivering a passionate speech, President Tinubu was represented by the Minister of Labor and Employment, Mohammed Maigari Danyadi, lauded Nigerian workers as the backbone of our society. Until now, I tell you, I really do not get to hear much of Minister of Labor in the news, and I think that at this point, in as much as I know he is the mouthpiece of the government and labor unions are the mouthpiece of the people, you know, there should be an all-round, what do they call this? Sit at the table, you know, time to time, just to see how workers' welfare can be better in the land. And give Tinubu second chance. Dogara tells and begs Nigerians. Former Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, has urged Nigerians to judge President Bola Tinubu by his deeds in governance to decide his fate come 2027. Dogara, who was a guest at the 65th birthday of Archbishop John Pray, said President Tinubu has 2 years to end his first term. Nigerians should allow him to focus on governance and decide in 2027. May Day on Nigerian Tribune, NLC laments, says workers in Nigeria facing harrowing situation. President of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Comrade Joe Ajero, has alleged that workers in the country, including ordinary citizens, are facing a harrowing situation in which the civic space is being gagged and compressed to the extent that people can no longer express themselves freely without security measures being used to contain them. Kaduna workers now earn minimum wage of 72,000 naira. Governor Sani, thank you for letting us know. Governor Uba Sani has announced that his administration is in full compliance with the Minimum Wage Act, ensuring that no civil servant in Kaduna State earns less than 70,000 naira. The governor, who emphasized his background as human rights activist, stated that the minimum salary for workers in Kaduna State is currently 72,000 naira, reflecting his belief in the dignity of labor. We appreciate you, sir. Now to only president can speak on international matters. Can clarifies. The Christian Association of Nigeria has clarified that only its president, Archbishop Daniel Oko, is constitutionally authorized to issue national or international press statements on behalf of the association. In a press release by Archbishop Oko on Thursday, Khan emphasized the importance of this clarification in preventing the spread of misinformation and maintaining the integrity of the association's public voice. The statement outlined Khan's four-tier organization structure comprising national, zonal, state, and local government level. Now on the story.
Hit music belongs here.
I got the keys to the city.
This is Vicinity FM 95.3. We are your connection to the sounds that surround you.
And I'm bad like the Barbie. I'm a doll, but I Good music belongs here.
I got the keys to the city.
This is Vicinity FM 95.3.
The Now Fund debunks false reports on students' loan scheme. The Nigerian Education Loan Fund, Now Fund, has expressed alarm over the recent surge of inaccurate, misleading, and dangerous speculative reports circulating in the public space regarding the administration of the students' loan scheme. Director of Strategic Communications, Osheyemi Oluwatui, clarified in a statement on Thursday in Abuja that the reports suggesting misappropriation and mismanagement of funds are entirely false, grossly irresponsible, and deeply damaging to the integrity of an institution established to deliver financial hope to millions of naira. Yes, to deliver financial hope to the millions of Nigerians out there. So we hope it is false indeed. So we don't have to, criticize you in a way that you are the hope to students where they get this little cash, just to keep body, soul, and their spirit alive. And now it's been truncated for what? For other people's personal interest. So we should be concerned. So we pray it is false. At least this will just help us understand that, well, there's still integrity in, on this issue of Now Fund. And we trust that you get to serve, deliver the service while the Now Fund was even established in the first place. And now I move to The Guardian.
This is Vicinity FM 95.3.
Now on The Guardian, group charges lawmakers to reconvene over insecurity emergency. A group Congress of Good Governance for National Unity has appealed to President Bola Tinubu to declare a cold national security emergency for the sake of God and humanity, waving aside partisan politics and other selfish, ethnocentric or religious sentiments, often blurring courage in taking such decisions. Statement by its national chairman, Abiodun Fanoro. The group noted the state of insecurity and cold-blooded murder of helpless and defenseless innocents. Nigeria in the country had reached an alarming and terrifying crescendo that President Tinubu should declare a cold national emergency where the entire citizenry shall be mobilized and put on red alert. 4. Defense. Story is on The Guardian newspaper. Moving away from that, Minister of Works says Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway set for January 2026. So fast? Okay, phase 1. So phase 1 of Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway will be completed in January 2026. The Minister of Works, David Umahi, made this known at an inspection tour of the highway. Said that they have come to review the project with financial promoters, Deutsche Bank and Development Bank of Southern Africa. He said it was projected that 20 kilometers of the road from Amadu Bello Way in Lagos would have been completed by May, and they are going to surpass the 20 kilometers from the site. Umahi said that the first phase of the highway project had been more than 70% completed, although the contractor had not got funds up to the 70%. And the story is on The Guardian newspaper. Agbakoba says Nigerian main problems remains political governance. Dr. Olisa Agbakoba, a senior advocate of Nigeria and former president of the Nigerian Bar Association, in an interview examined the social-political landscape and concludes that Nigeria needs to make tough decisions to solve its many problems, as it is faced with myriad of problems that resolve around economic downturn. These can only be asked. These can be assessed by current administration's efforts at addressing the concerns. This story is on The Guardian newspaper. Still on The Guardian, Tinubu Labour clash on economy as NLC, TUC push workers' demand. President Bola Tinubu and Nigerians' organized labor movement have expressed contrasting views on the government's approach to addressing economic hardship and creating sustainable jobs at the May Day celebration in Abuja. President Tinubu, represented by the Minister of Labor and Employment, Mohammed Dinyadi, spoke to workers acknowledging the global nature of the economic struggles Nigeria is currently facing. He expressed an awareness of the specific challenges Nigerians are experiencing, which include rising cost of living, hunger, insecurity, unemployment, loss of livelihoods, and the increasing pressure on families to meet basic demands. Stories on The Guardian. And now to FG probes legal deductions from student loan by 51 varsities. The Federal Ministry of Education has said it has launched an investigation into the alleged legal deductions from student loan by some tertiary institutions. The report comes 2 days after the April 29 report of The Guardian alleging unauthorized deductions from student loans, double institution fees collection from NELFund and students, and refusal by the institution to refund to students. Spokesperson of the ministry, Oriowo Folashade, in a statement revealed that the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunja Lausa, has expressed concern over The Guardian reports. This is where we come to understand the power of the media. Something is out there, and then we have to look into it. Despite NELFund, a person in charge has come to say, well, there is no truth in these claims. Well, we should still investigate it just to be sure, and moving. We have to be sure, because when did the loan fund, when did it kick off? We're already hearing, allegations of fraud and institutions, mismanaging this money. How much is even the money that the students get? It's not money that can pay for their tuition and do other things. It's just money to see them go about their day-to-day activity and keep them in class. Now we hear that they are mismanaging the money. You see that sometimes when you even try to bring up some system to ease the lives of the common Nigerians, there will always be these bottlenecks, trying so hard to just kill the whole thing. Amotekun operative dies, another missing after attack at Osun Oyo boundary. The boundary dispute between communities in Iwo and Ayedire local councils in Osun State and Lakelu local council in Oyo State took a tragic turn on Wednesday as suspected hoodlums ambushed and killed an operative of the Osun Amotekun Corps, Namidi Abiodun, at the Papa boundary area in Iwo. Another operative of the security organization remains missing following the attack, which occurred after local farmers in Papa Farm area alerted the security team about an assault on their farmland. So farmers are trying to, allow, not taking laws into their hands, allow, Amotekun operative, to see to the situation of people disturbing them on their farmlands. And it's sad to hear that one of the Amotekun Corps personnel died because he was attacked by hoodlums. And one is missing. Something should be done. But there is no much time on our side. I'll take the comments on our Facebook page. Good morning. Good morning to you, Sajuyo Soligno. Say, listening to the celebration of Workers' Day yesterday is like Nigerian workers have little to celebrate. I could see Osun workers celebrating as they called for continuation of their governor's administration. I would like to see Nigerian workers being productive for themselves and the country at large. Happy weekend. Happy weekend. Thank you for joining us on Newspaper Review this Friday morning. Do out to make your May a beautiful one to remember. Yeah, the fifth month has kicked off already. You know what it is. Time is not waiting, so and let's do well to rest, have a little fun, good fun, and take care of yourself. The executive producer is here, Deshola Salami. Thank you, Sir Julius Odignan, for your contribution. Always appreciate that. Bye for now.
We are your connection to the sounds that surround you.
Hit music belongs here.
I got the keys to the city.
This is Vicinity FM 95.3.
Music, sports,
In towards Lukaku.
entertainment, politics, all on your darling station, Vicinity 95.3 FM, Ikejile, Ijesha.
We are your connection to the sounds that surround you.
Hit music belongs here.
I got the keys to the city.
This is Vicinity.